Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Got the Guilty of Crime shirt on today. How's it going? Happy Monday. Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. You know the drill. What is going on? Trigger warning always, as usual, on this channel. Much love to you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. The goal is up today, and Barbie G got us started. So thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. And I heard that you got your Foxy box today, or one of the crime crew boxes that we give away. So good for you. I'm happy for you. I know a lot of people's Foxy boxes and merchandise are coming. So thank you guys. You are the people that help to support the channel and keep us going. Now, whether you're helping us to keep those memberships going, the merchandise going, the mystery box that you purchase going, or just some extra ammo for us that need to stand our ground, what is up? Let me say hi to everybody since we're coming in a little early, but good to see you. Pink Stars, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Mary Roy, you look really good in green. I hope you get some green soon. Chris says, not only do I know, but if I'm in the position and I have to, I'm going to stand my ground, period. So I put a poll up, guys. Midnight Lace, good to see you, my friend. Monica Martinez, Under the Mystic Moon. Matilda Marie, Suzanne, Tony, Cheeto the Magnificent. I'm glad you love the Guilty of Crime merch. I do too. I'm wearing my Guilty of Crime shirt today. I wore my Guilty of Crime crew hat last night. Went to a concert or a comedy show concert in Mountain View, and got to sport the Guilty of Crime. So come on in, guys. Good to see you. Come on in. It's Monday, and you know everybody's all over the internet doing all kinds of things. We've got lots of updates on many cases, and we'll get to that this week. This week we're coming up on Halloween soon, guys. We're coming up on Halloween, and this case just happened. And I ask you, what would you do? Three masked men terrorized this family, caught on ring camera, and that's how we're going to start this episode. We're going to play the ring camera, and we're going to freak out a little. By the way, while we're watching this, we're going to freak out because what the heck would you do? This happened to the most ordinary of family. Now, I'm going to explain everything as we go through it and as we watch the body cam, because I want to know, what would you do if this happened to your family? Now, this was a very, not only an ordinary family, but listen, this family was not just ordinary. This lady that answered the door had just lost her husband. She's a widow, and her daughter didn't want to speak out, but she is. And if you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, well, you will by the time we get halfway through with this. All right. So don't you worry. We're going to buckle up, grab your drink, grab a snack, hit that like button. And don't forget, guys, don't forget to hype my videos up. I do have the option to hype them. So I've got lots of videos floating around right now. My last video got over 2,000, but the one before that about the bullying, it's up to almost 22,000 views. So if you can hype that up, and we're 29,000, almost 200 subscribers. So we're close to 30,000, guys, and only could do that with your support. All right. Hey, I hope everyone's doing good. Black Country Bum 1, good to see you. All right, guys, we're just going to get into it. I'm going to just stop all the talk. We're going to watch this body cam together while I put this up, guys. This is an actual case that happened just 6 days ago, and this is a trend. This type of thing will happen, and people will copycat this. This is your worst nightmare. This is my worst nightmare, but this is also why I stand my ground. And we're going to talk about that when we're done. I'm going to talk about what stand your ground means, what that means if you're in a different city than I'm in, what it means if you're in a different state than where I'm in, what happens, etc. If this happened to you, would you be prepared for this? I know I would. Would I want to do that? Not necessarily, but I certainly would. And I certainly see a target on each one of those people's body right now. So you don't want to do that to just anybody. I assure you, Leslie, thank you for becoming a guilty of crime crew family member. Yes, when I first saw this, I said, oh, my worst nightmare just came true. Strangers, the movie. Now they have Strangers, another Strangers remake, and they're working on Strangers Part 2. This is not a movie. I assure you, this is the real deal. All right. This is your worst nightmare and my worst nightmare and Mary Beth's worst nightmare and Mama Sage worst nightmare. I assure you. People pop up all the time and they recreate this. I remember years back where somebody dressed up as a clown and they were committing crimes as a clown, and then another one, and then another one, and another one, and none of them were related. They were committing crimes as a clown, and this is what's happening right before Halloween. All right, your worst nightmare. Let's get into the body cam. I'm not going to say anything. We're going to watch the body cam. You're going to tell me how scared you are, and then you're going to tell me, do you stand your ground? All right, let's go, guys. This is scary. Trigger warning. Now remember, this is Ring footage. I have Ring at my house. I have Ring at my job. Everybody seems to have Ring nowadays. The neighborhood has Ring. This is Ring footage, exclusive Ring footage, I assure you, right from these people's doorbell. And I'm not telling you anything about these people until we're done with the body cam. Or the Ring. I'm sorry, not body cam, Ring. Oh my goodness. Thank Leslie for the 5 memberships.
Worst nightmare.
Thank you, Leslie.
Open this up.
He said, your worst nightmare. She said, who is it? Your worst nightmare.
It's your worst nightmare.
And
open the door.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Again, this is actual Ring cam footage, and this could be from my house, your house, my neighbor's house, anybody's house. This is real life, real deal, and I'm not going to tell you anything until we finish this video. Yeah, fuck that. Yep. You guys talk amongst yourself in chat. Do you stand your ground? I stand my ground. Now, this is going to progress, folks. This went from an innocent little Ring thing, a little Ring doorbell ding-dong ditch that we're all used to as children, to watch how this progressive. This is actual terrorizing a family and trying to, and ultimately breaking in.
I see you. Your worst nightmare. Your worst nightmare.
Absolutely.
Either you come out or we coming in.
This is not a movie, folks. This actually happened days ago to a widow and her daughter. My goodness. And you want to know what else? I'm trying not to talk, but they did not get arrested. They are not arrested, Mary Beth. They're out there doing this right now. And that's why we're covering this. That's
Your
scary.
worst nightmare.
So scary. So scary, guys. She opens the door, guys. She opens the door. Just wait. Buckle up.
See?
No, they don't.
I get you. Open the door.
Now, at first I thought it was just a Halloween prank, you guys, but this is no prank, I assure you. And she opens the door and it's all caught on this Ring camera. I'm going to tell you everything as soon as this is over. I want you to chat amongst yourselves about what you would do if this happened to you. Do you stand your ground? I do. I'll tell you right now, these people would have targets right there, right to the body, right there, body shot. First, they would meet my Smith and Wesson. If they didn't like Smith and Wesson, I'd give them the Glock. They don't like that. Well, we can pull out the Sig or the revolver, the Taurus. They don't like that. I got a couple AR buddies, AR-15s that they want to meet, or shotgun, whatever they want. Yeah, I stand 10 toes down on protecting my family. So you want to meet Smith and Wesson, Sig Sauer, Taurus, AR-15? What do you want? This is not Texas.
Open up the door.
Oh, she's gonna,
Open up the door.
this is not a joke.
Who is it?
Open up the door before we make our way inside.
Yep. This he's trying to get in, guys. He's trying to get in.
Open up the door.
Oh, she opens it. Now they're threatening them by saying they're going to break their neck. When you see one disappear, it's because they're going to the back of their house and they are trying to get in. If there's a window open, they're going to get in right here. They start breaking it up, as a matter of fact. I'm saying this is not in Texas, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to let's watch a body cam and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Fine, then we will make our way inside in this house. From the back or the front, it don't matter how it takes. Open the door! Open the door!
Pop, pop.
Open the door!
Oh no, it's progressing, guys. It's progressing. That's right, Cletus. Oh, just wait, guys. We're almost. He opened the door. He's gonna come right in.
I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. 9, 10. Oh wait, 11. Pop. All right, guys, we got a few more minutes. I know you guys are dying. You're dying. And even if you would have come here at the beginning, you would have still missed it. All right, I will tell you. This happened in Virginia on October 14th, 2025. 3 people wearing Halloween masks and costumes approached this home late Tuesday night to terrorize the family inside, banging, threatening, front door, back door, attempting forced entry, breaking into the back. This is what we're watching right now, folks. She did not call 911 and she's going to open the door. So please stay with me We've got a full episode today. I've got lots of show and tell for you guys, and we've got awesome discussions. What would you do if this happened to you? Now, this is my worst nightmare, and it would be their worst nightmare too. Hey, they're still out there, guys. They're out there doing this right now. This is real life strangers, guys. This is the real deal. Hey, Gemini. Good to see you. Just hang in there, guys. You know what they're doing now? They went around the back. Now they're going around the back and breaking it. Shorty Pie says, Jay is respectfully sexy with all respect to your wife. And I know I say it all the time, but it's true. Thank you. And my wife is okay with that. We're allowed to look and not touch. Meet my friend AR and Mr. Smith and Wesson. You got that. Hey, Debbie. Why are they not there anymore? What happened? Mad, huge prayers, Wesley. Huge. Now they're around the back. They're breaking in the back, guys, okay? They're literally breaking into the back. You hear all the noises and things going on? All right, be ready. Come on. This is scary, though. Hey, Michelle. Nope, no cops, guys. She's coming outside. You out there? She went outside. No, don't go outside. No.
That's my daughter-in-law. It was 3. I couldn't tell. They was in masks and they had jumpsuits.
Listen, guys, never go outside. If you're gonna go outside, introduce Smith and Wesson or Mr. AR-15 and make sure you've just got it locked and loaded if this happens, okay? I'm gonna tell you, if you're a stand your ground state, first you call 911. Don't do what this lady's doing.
I don't know. My son just came. But this. I don't know. Let me ask. Where they at? My daughter is about to leave. Monty, put that away. She's going to look on the backside because the backside of my house is on. This is Iris. What is that? What's the next street? Hudson? No, Hudson is the street that my son. No, my son lives on Ingram. I'm sorry. My son lives on. He lives on Hudson, 33 Hudson. But no.
Okay, guys, there's so much more to this story. We just got started. For me, this is like one of the scariest things that could ever happen in my entire life. And now you're going to find out what exactly happened, who it is, what the conversations are, what she could have actually done and what she didn't do. So let's dig into it a little more about the family. I'm going to play this clip and then I assure you, I will fill you in on all the details. I know you guys are dying. All right. But this is scary as hell and it's real.
Our Katie Lesso joins us with this exclusive video. And Katie, this is so disturbing.
It certainly is. This video you see here, it is what nightmares are made of. But this wasn't just a prank. This masked trio, they banged on the door of an Alexandria home, threatened to kill the people inside, and eventually tried to break in. Well, as you'd imagine, this was terrifying for the homeowners who say the people in this video crossed the line.
Now, listen, guys, this happened October 14th in Virginia. They terrorized the family. You're going to hear first they didn't want to talk. Now they are. This happened about 10 o'clock that night. And they attempted to get in there from the front, from the back. They broke the back. They broke part of the fence. They damaged the outdoor storage unit. They pounded on the windows and the screen doors. When they went from the front, they went to the back. Now, surveillance took images of the three masked individuals, one being Michael Myers and the other two some type of clown. No arrests have been made, but there's a whole press conference, and this was a widowed lady that had just lost her husband. All right, she had just lost her husband, and she should have never went outside, ever. All right, watch, check this out.
But this was no
Oh, God,
nightmare.
yeah. Hot.
It was a reality for one Alexandria family.
Thank you, Foxy.
It happened around 10 p.m. Tuesday near Duke and South Jordan Streets in Alexandria.
At first, I thought it was just a Halloween joke, a little prank.
Now, this is the daughter. This is not the mother that opened the door and went outside. That was a grieving widow. This is her daughter. At first, she did not want to show her face, but now she's on the open because we need to help people. These people are going around doing that. All right. Yes, there are other people going in the front, going in the back, neighbors coming, neighbors going. But I assure you, when you hear everything about this, doesn't matter who did what. They were ready to get down and hurt these people.
So I said, Happy Halloween.
Shayla says she thought they'd leave, but they didn't. So she called 911 and told them cops were on the way, but the trio seemed unfazed.
And they kept like knocking on the door. The knocks would get harder and harder. Open the door! And they threatened to kill us.
When they couldn't get in through the front, she says they came around back.
This whole thing, they broke down, as you could tell.
She showed us the damage.
So did they actually go in there?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They hopped up on here and they came through.
She says they went right up to the glass.
They were just hitting the window.
She says they finally left after about 10 minutes. Police were at their home Wednesday. She says this is not a joke.
It's not even a joke gone wrong. They tried to enter into the home. Like, my heart dropped when they said that they were going to take a chair and break down the door.
And see, they're in the back while we're watching that front camera and focusing on, are they going to answer? Look at, there's people outside. They would have hurt them, in my opinion, if they got in. All right. Cletus 91 says, Mary Beth, get one to protect yourself. Guns ain't bad. They help you when someone's trying to unalive you. Boom, boom, game over. Trust me, bad people like this have no soul. And I agree. Number one, first call 911. And then secondly, you get your buddies out. You get your Smith & Wesson. You get your whatever you're comfortable with. Glock, Sig Sauer. 911 takes a long time to come, and they put you on hold. This was not a joke. This is not a joke. And they're still doing this. Now that we're getting closer to Halloween, that could happen at your door. Yes, they went there to rob them. They said, if you don't get out, we are going to force you out. They also made like they're going to break your neck. They're going to kill you. They did threaten to kill them as well.
That is just too much.
She says it's left their whole family shaken up, especially her mother.
My dad recently just died, so it's just like, I'm just glad I was there. Now she's in fear. She don't want to stay there by herself.
She says this could have ended much differently.
Look at that, guys. That's bad.
Our Second Amendment right was not used and could have been. Like,
she literally just said that, and that's the topic of today. She said my Second Amendment right could have been used, and we didn't use it. Again, I ask, what would you do? 3 masked men terrorized family, caught on ring, and this was in Virginia, so this particular state, they could have walked out there and shot those people in the chest individually. They could have shot those people, bam, 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 right in the head, and this would have been a stand your ground. That we would have seen law enforcement, we would have seen some ambulance, and they'd have took those people away, whether they're joking or not, which I don't think this is a joke. This is my worst nightmare. I think this is your worst nightmare. This is your worst nightmare. This is your worst. This is very bad. Pump action 12 gauge named after my grandmother, Josephine. Don't even think about it. This is what could have happened to those people.
And very transparent.
To the people behind these masks.
That was given grown-up activity. The time frame alone, 10 o'clock at night, to knock on someone's door.
Hell no.
Is never okay. Halloween, not Halloween, it's never okay.
So if you know who these guys are, if you have any footage of them on your doorbell camera, again, this happened in the area of Duke and South Jordan Streets in Alexandria. Make sure you contact Alexandria Police. Lorenzo.
All right, guys, we got a lot more, so let's just get into it. Let's discuss our Second Amendment. Let's discuss these people. We're going to watch there's like a 12-minute presser that's going to give us more information. I mean, these people are the real deal, guys. It's getting close to Halloween, and if you see something like this, make sure that you take care of it and don't walk outside. Please don't walk outside. What's up, TP? That's creepy as F. I'm sure they wouldn't have gotten away with it in my state. By the way, it's like every horror story. It is. And this just happened on the 14th. All right. The copycats happen, and Halloween is right around the corner, which is giving these people, these monsters, the opportunity to walk around in these costumes and do this. All right. If one falls, the other will run, laugh loud. But what would have happened if the people in the house would have used their Second Amendment right, like I would do, like you would do, like many of you would do? Jinx says, I got too much rage in my little body to let these three leave. All right, let's get into this, because this is we got a whole episode, guys. Thank you for being here. Much love. I love when we have our 170 to 200 people. We can chill and chat and y'all get attention. So listen, video trio, scary costumes, attempt to break in home. We're going to talk about the Second Amendment here shortly. Let's read the update as of yesterday, October 19th, 2025. Authorities are investigating an attempted burglary involving 3 people dressed in Halloween costumes. In the clip that have gone viral, 3 people, full body costumes and masks, are seen on Ring surveillance pounding on the door and windows of a Virginia Alexandria home, trying to break in and making threatening statements around 9:50 p.m. One of the people at home, Shayla, who we just saw, who was visiting her recently widowed mother, told this outlet that she initially thought the ordeal was a Halloween prank. All right. But the pounding and the threats continued. And we saw that went on for a full 12 minutes, you guys. That is the longest 12 minutes of my life. I tell you right now, I would be out there and those people would have got shot. And that sucks for them if they were just playing around, right? It's either you coming in or we're coming in, one of the voices said as they threatened and went to the back to break things. Second Amendment right, guys, could have been used in this state of Virginia. She said our Second Amendment right was not used and could have been. All right, now former FBI special agent Jennifer Coffendorfer, she's also been on my show. We're going to watch her in a second talk about the Second Amendment right that pertains to this case. It would be standing your ground. Now, in my case, I'm in California, you guys, and I do not have we're not a stand your ground state. However, there is a stand your ground policy in California. All right. Means you're not required to retreat using force in self-defense if you're in a place where you have the legal right to be. While California doesn't have a specific stand your ground statute, the principle is included in the jury instructions for self-defense cases. What that means is if you face imminent threat, you can stand your ground and use the force reasonably necessary to defend yourself, even if you could have safely retreated. Now, the reason I tell you this, because some of you are not in a stand your ground state. If you are not in a stand your ground state, you still may have a stand your ground policy, which means in public places, you're not required to run away from an attacker to avoid confrontation. You can defend yourself. The force you must be considered reasonable under the circumstances, all right? In some cases, you may even be allowed to pursue an assailant to prevent further damage from passing. Now, in California, we have a castle doctrine, and it's related but specific law that applies to your home. It presumes a reasonable fear of imminent peril of death or great bodily injury if someone unlawfully enters your residence, allowing the use of deadly force without retreating, which means that they come in or they're on your property in your fence and they're breaking a neck and pounding and they're telling them, you don't come out, I'm going to kill you, then you can do the same thing to them. All right. Now, recent legislation has been proposed to clarify that the de-escalation should be prioritized outside of the home because it's much different than when someone comes to your house versus you being at a restaurant, right? But this does not eliminate the stand your ground policy that you may or may not have. That is absolutely no joke what we're watching here. And these people are not yet caught. And this is why we're doing this episode today. All right. So listen, Alexandria Police Chief Tarek McGuire echoed the sentiment in a press conference we're going to watch and says this is a serious matter. If that was a prank, that prank was alleged to have happened later turned serious as they begin to make threatening and alarming comments to the family. So people can say to this, guys, and you guys can tell me. You guys tell me. We just did an episode all over YouTube. Everywhere on YouTube, we're talking about stalkers and bullying. Stalkers, harassment, and bullying. Now, guess what? There's a lot of people out there on these YouTube streets that are using these videos of stalking and harassing to call the people that are putting in place either C&Ds or getting a lawyer. They're calling us babies and snowflakes, all right? So I think those people that are okay with bullying and harassing would be those people that would also say it was just a joke. What a bunch of scaredy cats. Can you believe we were joking? How could you shoot him? We were just kidding. It's a Halloween prank. Those same people, the same people that are into making people scared, bullying people, threatening people, online harassment, are the same people that would be okay with a joke like this. But this is not funny. And it happened to a widowed lady that was there by herself. All right. So I ask you, is this a joke? Would you find this to be a joke? Do you think that this is okay? Pranks are toilet paper and trees. Yes. As POC, I'd assume a group of all clad in white dudes is more terrifying. All right. So the people that think that it's okay to bully and harass and all that, they would probably look at this video and say, you're an idiot. You're an idiot and you're a big old pussy. You're a big old pussy, Jay, because they're just kidding. I can't believe you shot them. You're the person that's a terrorizer. You shot them. They were just kidding. This is not a joke. All right. This is not a joke. Let's get into that now. Why this is not a joke. This is a nightmare, not a joke.
Open up the door.
This next story, likely something out of somebody's nightmare out there.
It's out of my
especially as we
nightmare.
approach Halloween. So check this out. We just showed it to you. A costume trio gathering outside of this Alexandria, Virginia home earlier this week, demanding that the people inside that house let them in. At first, they rang the doorbell. Then they knocked on the door and they shouted things like, either you come out or we come in. But it soon escalated. The family says the trio attempted to force the front door open by jiggling the handles, breaking down a wooden fence in the backyard, and then slashing through deck screens, even pounding on the windows. At one point, the family says the trio shouted death threats and then promised to return. Tonight, the family remains concerned, and of course, they want answers. I want to bring in retired FBI special agent and News Nation law and justice contributor.
And whoever doesn't like Koff, I like her. I like Jennifer Koffendorfer. She's been on my show, so shout out to her. She has a channel also. She's ex-FBI agent. She's going to talk about why this isn't a joke. And the homeowner was an elderly-ish widow. She went outside. Her making that comment about her Second Amendment right and not covering her face. She's also saying F around and find out if you really want to. But she didn't at first, all right? So people holding someone accountable would be okay with that these guys did to the widowed woman. Is that... I am saying the type of people that think that harassment is okay and bullying is okay are the same type of people that would think this is a joke. So however you reworded it, I'm not sure. What I said was people that are okay with harassing, bullying, and saying, hey, you're a public figure. It's online. We can do whatever we want to you because that's what you're an online figure. That's your problem. Those people would think that this was just a joke. And if I shot these people or you shot these people, they would say, that was just a prank. I can't believe you shot those kids. Did you see what they did? They terrorized these people. And Forever True, thank you so much for supporting the channel with your $5 pound. Thank you. All right, let's get into this. Some people would say this is a prank. I ask you, is this a prank? Do you stand your ground? What would you do in this situation?
Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, this video, oh my gosh, it is so disturbing to me. Obviously, the big question is, was this a prank? Was this somebody that had nefarious intentions here? The Alexandria police chief calling the incident a very serious matter, nonetheless, saying this trio of people, they may soon face charges, including burglary and criminal threats. So what do you think right now? Do you think they should be charged?
Absolutely.
Alex. I think they'll be found and they'll be charged. Look, those costumes are dead giveaways. The fact that there's 3 of them, there's individuals within their family or friends.
Now, listen, this happened a few years back before COVID. There were these crazy clowns in the Oakland area. We're in the Bay Area here in Oakland. They started recreating a scene out of a horror movie by using clown masks to prank people. And at the same time, they were considered a prank. They were robbing and beating people up, and others joined in. All right. So this is not a prank. And I really hope that people don't say this was just a prank. I can't believe that you would have done that. Now, Elroy says those costumes should not be hard to find where they're purchased if purchased locally, which I hope so, because we're going to get into some topics today. And I'm not so sure that this is a pretty common outfit. This is a pretty common mask, and I'll show you why in a bit.
Group that know exactly who this is.
Hey,
and
Darlene.
I think somebody will come forward, particularly if they put up a reward.
Yeah, I don't know if they're teenagers or what, but usually word gets around and, sooner or later a tip comes in that's helpful to the police.
You remember that?
What about the family and how they handled that situation? We're told that they stayed inside, they called the police, they asked for backup. What would you recommend? Obviously, if someone's watching this video and think,
oh, listen, they did all of that, guys. They did that. She called 911 and they were there for 12 full minutes. They broke the back gate. They started breaking in the back patio. They were banging on the window. Windows break. They tried all the doors and cops still didn't get there. The whole time we watched this, cops never arrived. All right. So that's why we're talking about stand your ground.
So, my God, I hope that never happens to me, but they do find themselves in a similar situation. What would your advice be to them?
Well, first of all, Alex, the victimology here is very interesting. Why did they choose this house? I guarantee these individuals live very close, in close proximity. They bought those costumes in close proximity. Everything they did was purposeful to pick this house. Why? Because the individual there was a widower. This was an individual that would be an easy target. It's sad, but that's something I think they looked at. This family handled the situation perfectly, stay barricaded in. They monitored that ring video and they contacted the police quickly.
Yeah, I don't know quite what time it took place, but I do see somebody walking in the background. So it tells me it's not the dead of night. So maybe there are also witnesses who caught a license plate or something like that. All right, let's talk a little bit about our rights as Americans, right? The family said, quote, our Second Amendment right was not.
And that's why we're discussing this case. I also want you guys to be aware, because what happens in a case like this, you guys, is that people catch wind of this, and it might not be in Virginia, but it may be in Colorado, it may be in Utah, it may come to California now that they see this and people start recreating it with different costumes. And I'll tell you why right after this. It's also going to be Halloween and it's going to be a free-for-all. All right. I am Two Bear. Never count on someone saving your ass. Be capable. And that's what we're talking about today. Seeing this weekend is my biggest nightmare. This is my biggest nightmare, to have to deal with something like this. All right. And there's lots of copycats. Nicole's product review said, I didn't think my state was a stand ground state until now. I don't have the protection, but this is so terrifying. And it should be. It should be. All right, let's keep going. We got a big show today, guys. Damn, man, this just gets me going.
Not used, obviously, the right to bear arms, and could have been. The police
Right
chief
to bear
echoed that
arms,
sentiment,
man.
saying, "Do not go up to people's doors, make threats, advance to their doorways, and play with their lives because it can end very badly." So my question to you, as the law and justice expert here, if the family had shot at that trio, do you think that they would be considered self-defense here?
It would be, yes, a standing your ground, self-defense.
Yes.
Every state is different, Alex. But essentially, when you go up to somebody's door and if you breach their property, which they did, remember they went in through the back fence.
And that's why I want you guys to check your states, okay? I want you to check if you're a stand your ground state or a stand your ground policy. Mama Pearl says, my daughter will save my ass, but I have a hammer as well. Well, Mama Pearl, you don't need a hammer over here, Mom. We got you. We got you. All right. In California, I just read that, Wyatt. You came in a little late. California is not a stand your ground state, but it has a stand your ground policy, meaning that you're not required to retreat before using deadly force in self-defense. Now, remember, let me just tell you what real quickly. Mama Pearl remembers this when we got carjacked. My wife, myself, and my roommate got carjacked in Oakland by 5 African American guys. They threw us out of the car in the middle of the street in Oakland, in one of the worst neighborhoods. All right. And they pulled a gun on us and kicked us out of the car and took our car and all of our shit. After that happened, I said, damn, I don't have anything to protect myself. What am I going to do if those people come to my house? Because now we're in a court situation where they got arrested and we're named as the people that are going against them. So we're in an open court with all of our documentation to find. Okay, so I cameraed up. I've got probably 30 cameras all over my property, inside and out, and I made sure to go stand my ground. All right, terrifying. That was almost as terrifying as this, because the people that robbed us in the middle of the day, they put masks on in the middle of the day, and it wasn't COVID. It was before COVID. It was very scary, guys. I won't let that happen again.
They tried to cut screens. They definitely could have put themselves in harm's way if their Second Amendment right of those individuals inside would have been used.
Right. And then an interesting follow-up is maybe the psychology behind it all, because we're seeing this video come out close to Halloween. People wear costumes around Halloween. It makes me wonder if other people out there with bad intentions, criminals, might wear a costume, a mask, in which case the person that they're trying to attack or intimidate actually is disarmed. They just think it's a harmless prank. They think that it's somebody that's out there celebrating Halloween, and next thing you know, they're a victim of a crime.
It's so true. And we're getting ready. Halloween's around the corner where we're going to be opening our door, breaching our doors for individuals.
So I just saw somebody saying, Liv Wade says, I'm in Virginia, and over the years, this has been a thing around Halloween, unfortunately. Well, this time, guys, it's made it. It's made it here, and we're going to see the press conference, because I'm afraid that someone's going to either get hurt badly with these people continuing to do this, or we're going to start having copycats. Zarina, how you doing? I'm sorry you didn't endure this. Well, it makes us stronger and it makes us more wise. All right. So let's keep going. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. We still have a few more to get to our goal. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Also, don't forget to hype the video after we're done.
That are strangers. Now, obviously, when they're children, we shouldn't have that much worry. But with these teenagers and tall adults that are going to be coming around, it's a little off-putting, especially in light of this. Remember the trick-or-treat murder that took place many years ago? That is where a masked person did just what they did, but the person opened the door and they were killed.
Jennifer, what do you think is the first step that investigators and detectives are going to take to try to crack this case and find out who these people are?
Nothing else to do.
Number one, I would be going to the Halloween stores close by that sell these types of costumes. These are very unique costumes. They're expensive costumes, and I think they're going to be able to trace that. The other thing is surveillance videos. Right. All of those ring cameras and street cameras, they're going to be looking at that.
You've got a subscription for streaming.
Right, you gotta love how they do that. I shouldn't have played that one. Okay, that's all right, guys. I'm gonna play this real quick. We're gonna get in the press conference. So, was this encounter inspired by a movie or a recent TV show? Why did this happen? Why is this happening now? Is it because it's Halloween, or are they using that as an excuse? So Inside Edition says, is this a terrifying encounter by a TV show? Let's take a look.
It's the terrifying doorbell video that spooked an entire neighborhood. Now people are wondering if this bone-chilling encounter was inspired by a TV show.
Open the door! Open the door!
It happened Tuesday night in Alexandria, Virginia, when 3 strangers wearing Halloween masks approached the front door of a home, demanding to come inside.
I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in.
As police hunt for the hooligans, TV viewers say it reminds them of the HBO crime drama Task. In this scene, 3 disguised strangers step up to the.
And again, guys, there's also the Strangers episode, and then also Halloween. This is like Halloween. It's one of the Halloweens, I think Halloween 3, where Michael Myers isn't in it. All right. They take away our boom booms for in Australia, and we don't have protection to stand our ground. Well, it's a little bit safer there, I hope. I would hope. Prayers for you and your family. Let's hope that this doesn't happen to anybody that we know.
Doorstep in frightening face masks, just like the costumes creeps in the real-life scare in Alexandria. Others on social media are comparing the spine-chilling encounter to the Purge movies, where masked maniacs embark on a murderous 24-hour crime spree without fear of.
And that's another. Those are 2 other episodes that people are watching, shows, etc. And we haven't even got to Strangers yet. All right. This is that's why I say this is your worst nightmare, my worst nightmare. This is bad. If they outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. That I'd have to agree with, my friend.
Of repercussions. And y'all thought the Purge was fictional, goes this social media posting after seeing the now viral doorbell video. Cops in Alexandria say they are hot on the trail of the creeps who wore the Michael Myers clown and evil nun mask, hoping other security cameras near the home will unmask them before they strike again.
If this door doesn't open.
All right, so we do have a presser that we're going to get into. Let me put that up. Your worst nightmare. Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hype the video up. It's the worst Halloween ever. Are you talking about because of them? Yeah, guilty of crime. We proudly are pro Second Amendment, guys. All right. And, I advise you, if anything like this has ever happened to you, similarly or what have you, you really should make sure you're standing your ground. All right. Let me put this on. Okay, this was 8 hours ago, so I want some updates, and then we're gonna get into the presser. I need you guys to see what they're doing, and we need to spread the word about this, about what's happening. So let's get into this.
Chilling video captured on a Ring doorbell camera, showing 3 people in Halloween costumes outside a home in Alexandria, Virginia, late Tuesday night. The 3 apparently laughing at first.
Bastards.
Then their actions quickly become more sinister as the people inside refuse to open the door.
Open the door! I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in.
I mean, right there, guys, right there. Literally. Oh my God, so sorry that's happening. So glad you're okay. Oh my God, yeah. All I see is 3 clowns with a deleting wish. Well, listen, this is 8 hours ago, and they're still trying to find these people. Now, the original doorbell didn't have the words, so I couldn't see what they were saying. But in this, you could see more of their threats and more what they're saying. And what else can they say to you? If you don't open the door, we're coming in, and then bang, 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 breaking your fence, pounding on your windows. What else do they need to say?
1, 2.
I said happy Halloween when they first came, asked them to get off the property. When they didn't, that's when I realized it wasn't a joke anymore.
Our affiliate, WJLA, speaking to Shayla, one of the family members inside.
And they have different interviews with her. That's why I'm playing these different clips, because in the first interview, she didn't even show her face at all. And then in another interview, they have another section, and another interview, different stations. So I want to make sure we capture all of this. Indy Isham, in honor of my Josephine. Thank you so much for the $4.99 towards the honor of your Josephine. Much love, Indy Isham. I hope you're doing well today. Happy
They
Monday.
tore the whole thing down.
She says the trio made its way to the backyard, destroying her fence and damaging a backdoor screen.
They came through there, and that's how they entered to get to our door to be able to knock on the back door.
Police are now working to identify the individuals.
We're going to take every step once we identify them to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
What at first was seen as an unnerving prank, police now say was an attempted burglary.
Going around to their backyard, destroying property, really brings alarm and transitions from a prank to a criminal offense. And we take these incidents seriously.
Really scary. And the chief says people should not be made to feel unsafe in their.
All right, guys, we're going to listen to Oppressor as well. What's up, Montana Mystic? Very fitting. Stand your ground. I also highly recommend that you guys stand your ground, but don't just stand your ground. Make sure that you're comfortable, okay? Make sure you go to the shooting range. Make sure you go to the indoor range, the outdoor range, whatever you're going to do, make sure you're comfortable. Yeah, that guy has definitely a loud, sharp voice. I have one more clip, and then we're going to listen to him. I just want to make sure I capture all of the different areas that where this case was covered and what it was covered for. This is not what I wanted to do, so I'm going to stop sharing that, and let's put this back up real quick. I don't like to leave you guys hanging on a blank screen. I like to keep the episode going. All right, so this one was from the original. It's a different little view of it from 11 Alive, and then we're gonna listen to what's next, what charges they're facing, what's happening. Oh, here's the recap right here, Angel. You just rolled up, perfect timing. Listen, this happened in Virginia, and these people are not caught. But I ask you, do you stand your ground? What does your state think? All right, here's your recap.
But this was no nightmare.
Open the door!
It was a reality for one Alexandria family.
Either you come out or we coming in.
It happened around 10 p.m. Tuesday near Duke and South Jordan Streets in
There we go.
Alexandria.
At first, I thought it was just a Halloween joke.
All right, so this is your recap for anybody that just rolled in. What would you do? 3 masked men terrorize this family, caught on Ring camera, and they're still not caught. Are there copycats? Are these people going to come back on Halloween? They told them they're coming back. All right.
A little prank. So I said happy Halloween.
Shayla says she thought they'd leave,
Yeah,
but they
you're good.
didn't. So she called 911 and told them cops were on the way, but the trio seemed unfazed.
And they kept like knocking on the door. The knocks would get harder and harder.
Open the door!
And they threatened to kill us.
When they couldn't get in through the front, she says they came around back.
This whole thing, they broke down, as you could tell.
She showed us the damage.
So did they actually go in there?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They hopped up on here and they came through.
She says they went right up to the glass.
I mean, listen, guys, that's crossing the line right there. It's no longer a prank when you start doing this to the door, opening it, pounding on it, breaking stuff. They wanted to get in. Michelle, Halloween 3 is the worst. I know he's not Michael Myers, isn't even in it. However, that's what a lot of episodes try to portray. Now, listen, the other night, it was 4:00 in the morning, and I got up to get something to drink, and I looked at my door because I heard my front door doing this. You know how someone moves the door? And we have different locks where you do the key code and you got a lock. I heard the key code going and then the door moving. Oh my God, guys. And Michelle Horick, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Now, my son came over. He's going to be 26 next week. He's a security guard and he works all night. So he gets off at like 4 a.m. He stopped by to grab something and he freaking 4 a.m. started opening the door. Oh my God. I was this close to the door. I grabbed the handle, shoved it back, and locked the thing. I was like, who is there? And then my son's like, Mom, I came here. I was like, why didn't you text me? He's like, I did. I'm like, but I didn't respond. So anyway, that was one little, like that noise where you hear little like beep, 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 and then the door moving. That one thing gave me a freaking heart attack. Okay, so had this happened and you saw them just trying to go in, that is terrifying. All right, images. Imagine seeing the video and then exactly. I told my son, "You're crazy. You know how we do around here at our house. Please don't do that again." Now, of course, I'm not going to just start shooting before I see what's happening, but I'm telling you right now, he would not have wanted his mom to be at the front door doing this, right? So, Indy Isham says, I read recently that it would be almost impossible to invade the USA because so many of us have guns at home. And I hope so. I hope so, Indy. I do. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my God. And that's why I say this is my worst nightmare.
We were just hitting the window.
She says they finally left after about 10 minutes. Police were at their home Wednesday. She says this is not a joke.
It's not even a joke gone wrong. They tried to enter into
exactly.
The home. Like, my heart dropped when they said that they were going to take a chair and
now listen, guys, I'm glad you brought that up. And that would never happen because I've been trained with my guns for years. I'm trained with every kind of gun you could think of. Long rifles, ARs, AKs, anything. I'm trained with it all. So I would never, ever accidentally do that. However, we do have a screen and the screen is double bolted, double locked. Everything to our house is double bolted, double locked. You can't even get near my door unless you go through my fence that has a lock. Then you get to there, it has everything is double locked, double fence, double, triple cameras. So there's no accidents like that. But just imagine the cops were coming. Just imagine what these people, imagine that even one knock. And then all of a sudden you hear this on the windows. Just imagine, guys.
Break down the door. That is just too much.
She says it's left their whole family shaken up, especially her mother.
My dad recently just died. So it's just like, I'm just glad I was there. Now she's in fear. She don't want to stay.
Now, again, her dad recently just died and her mom's living at that house by herself. And it took cops how long? We watched that for 12 minutes and no cops ever came.
Stay there by herself.
She says this could have ended much differently.
It could have been bad. Our Second Amendment right was not used and could have been, like, being very transparent.
To the people behind these masks,
that was giving grown-up activity. The time frame alone, 10 o'clock at night, to knock on someone's door in costume is never okay. Halloween, not Halloween.
No manifesting. Okay. No manifesting. We're not going to manifest it. What I'm saying is just picture what that lady went through, and then you just realize that you want to make sure you're safe. You want to make sure that with Halloween coming that you are safe and secure with whatever happens. Okay, we're gonna listen to this in a minute, but Boss Lady says when said open up, work coming in, I would have said, okay, give me a second, I'm fixing a third cup of coffee for you friends. Then I'd say, okay, I'm ready, come on in. All right, Boss Lady, bring some funniness to that. Yeah, she was on the phone. Yes. All right, that clown with the tilted head is scary AF. Guys, I'm a horror fan. I am a horror fan to the fullest. I'm like Dolly Vision. I go to those horror conventions and I have all this stuff, but this is a horror nightmare. This is not good, and those people could have been dead. I just want you to realize that. All right, let's listen to this. Alexandria Police Department, we need to catch those people, guys, because if you live in Virginia right now, these people are out there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tarek, Tarrick. Last name McGuire, MC, capital G, U-I-R-E. I am the Chief of Police here in Alexandria, Virginia. I appreciate everyone joining me. I really want to provide an update on a critical case that is currently impacting not only one family in our community, but that is also resulting in significant concern across the city of Alexandria. On Tuesday evening, approximately somewhere between 9:30 and 9:50, there were three support individuals that approached the family here in Alexandria at their residence. They knocked on their door, they were in Halloween masks, and they began to act as if they were engaging in a prank. That prank that was alleged to have happened later turned serious as they began to make threatening and alarming comments to the family. Specifically, they said, if you do not come out, we will come in. And also threatened to do bodily harm to their family, stating that they will ultimately kill them. We do know at this time.
I hope you guys are paying attention to this, because these are all the details that are going to answer your questions now about what happened behind the scenes, what they were doing. You know, a video or a picture is 1,000 words, but when you have a press conference, it's 1,001 words, and it fills you in on the blanks. Now, Kit Kat, I saw that you wanted to have a guilty of crime shirt like this. You certainly can have a guilty of crime shirt like this. If you just email me, I'll take care of that for you. All right. Zarina says, nice, go show. All right, let's go. Let's listen to the. It's important that we get this out there so that if you guys see them or that happens, that you know what to do. All right, real life nightmare. You got to protect yourself always, always, always. All right.
That our officers immediately responded upon being dispatched to their residence. They began to canvass the area, and our detectives ultimately responded. And we have located some footage on the roadway that shows a group of individuals that appear to be coming from back around the residence, going up into the street with the Halloween mask that were previously.
Oh, they got evidence, guys. They got, this is an update. I haven't even heard it yet. They've got video with these 3 assailants, they think, coming around the back in a car. So they have a vehicle now?
Taking them off and getting into the vehicle. I want to be very clear. This is a very serious matter. Historically, we have saw pranks around the nation as it relates to people wearing masks, trying to mimic movie scenes or horrific films. These are serious matters because, number one, they are frightening to people in the community, especially leading up to Halloween. But most importantly, they can result in a serious injury. People that are in their residence, according to our laws and laws across our nation, can defend themselves. And ultimately, whether it is a prank or not, it is a serious matter. And so it's important for those that are in our community to check their video cameras. The footage that we have received at this time is from a Ring doorbell camera. And we're going to.
And now, of course, I don't want anybody in chat to say, I live alone and I don't have protection. Never say that. Never say that. Never say that. But right now, if you're listening to this episode and you're here with Guilty of Crime, make sure you're prepared for something like this so that you don't freak out if something like that happens. You stay clear. You call 911. If you have your weapons, you make sure you have them in hand in case they're able to break through, and then you stand your ground. Okay. I know sometimes things happen quick and you panic or freak out when something like that happens, but breathe, think hard and long, and do the right thing. Call 911 first, and then make sure you have a protection, then call 911. Whatever works best for you. Don't let this happen to you.
Continue to ask the public to check their Ring doorbell cameras as our detectives continue to canvass neighborhoods and areas and look at the time period between 9 to 10:30. And again, as we approach this holiday season, it's mostly important for parents, if they have young people in their residence, to talk to them about not engaging in pranks and adults, but to also ensure that we're doing the right thing to uphold the law and also protect our community and lessen the victimization of those who live here within our city. And so I'm open to any questions that any of you may have at this time.
Hi there, it's Tisha Lewis from Fox 5 DC. What other information do you have about these suspects besides that they were wearing Halloween masks?
All right, let's listen. Let's see if they're a little easier to hear. What information do we have? Tracy G says everyone has steak knives, right? Yeah, I hope so. But be careful with that too, guys, because that just happens that someone will take it and use it on you. Make sure you let the cops know. Absolutely. Good advice. Cynthia, I feel like I should know this. I'm in a red state, so I doubt it. Does anyone know about AR? Arkansas. All right, I'll let you guys chat. Let's listen to this.
So if you would think about from this perspective, right, they're fully covered in masks. We can only identify the actual clothing that they had on at the time with the face coverings. What I will say is that our detectives are not only just checking Ring cameras in this specific area, but we're also checking convenience stores that are in and around the area. And the video footage that we have from the Ring doorbell camera, we're working to illuminate it better so we can see who these persons are, what type of vehicle that they were possibly getting into. What we do know is that there were a series of 2 vehicles along the roadway at the time of the incident. and we believe that they got into a vehicle and left. So we're still working.
Oh, he just went out of whack
through that process, and we are hoping that we can identify additional footage in and around stores or locations, or also utilize technology to see what vehicles were in the area at that specific time.
Ryan, you had your hand up?
Yeah, good evening, Chief. I'm wondering if motive, was this random or was this family specifically targeted?
And then we're going to talk about what this carries, what sentence, what does this carry in that state? What can they be charged for? And where does the line get drawn, guys? Where does the line get drawn of this being a little prank? You remember our childhood pranks? You would knock on someone's door and run when you're out there just hanging with your friends or whatever. This is beyond that. This is way beyond that. But where does one draw the line? We all have different opinions, thoughts, and feelings about it.
And also, if you could just walk us through what charges these individuals might be facing if they and when they are arrested.
No.
Yes, sir. So, as I
this.
said earlier, Ryan,
we didn't see any.
We're approaching the Halloween season, and I can't confirm or validate the reason why this event happened. What we do know is that we've seen across the nation incidents such as this before around this specific season. As it relates to the crime that they could be charged with, we do know that they were making threats, right? And they attempted to enter a residence. And so as it relates to the statute and state code in Virginia, that would arise to a burglary based off of trespassing in someone's residence and then making threats while doing so.
Making threats while doing so. I mean, that was very
Inside Edition.
Yes, hi. So do you have any idea whether this incident was done with sinister intent? Were they just joking, or do you know if they were actually gonna?
All right, now this is where the gray area comes. So I love that you're here. Hit that like button, chill out. We're gonna be here for a little bit and take notes because we might have a quiz at the end of our show. Just kidding, but I really do want to make sure that we have good takeaways from today and we know enough about this case that if something happens to you like that, or you hear something, or you're in that state and you know something, you reach out to the proper authorities, okay? Because this Halloween is coming. We're 11 days from Halloween, guys, and people are starting to celebrate now. They're celebrating this weekend. Everyone's going to be out partying during the week. Thursday is the new Friday. So come on, guys.
Their threats were sound.
Yes, our detectives are still working through that. We have not confirmed that information at this time. But as you know, again, for the family, it's very alarming. Just me, not only just being the police chief here in the city, but also a resident. If someone came to my door in the middle of the night, whether it was a prank or not, it's not a joking matter.
Nope.
What was most concerning in this event is not only did they knock on the door, make alarming comments, but they went around to the rear of the residence, caused damage to the property, and then ultimately left. And, the resident, I can only imagine what she felt at that time and her family. I know she reached out to a family member. We do have video of that family member coming up, and I will say that this could have been a very...
Now, look, a lot of people are reporting on this independently, a lot of news stations. There's so many different clips, but I couldn't find one episode that put all of this in there. So if you guys would hit that like button and share with your friends and communities, this is happening right now, and it's Halloween, so it's bound to happen more. This happened at 9:50 p.m. last Tuesday. All right, so today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday. Tomorrow will be 1 week since they did that at almost 10 o'clock at night. Now, Michelle, you're right. You Googled how many states are stand your ground. It says 31 states are. However, there's stand your ground policies as well. So I suggest you check with what your state does, state to state. And do you even have weapons? Do you have them? Do you know how to use them? What are you going to do? Be prepared, guys.
An adversarial situation that turned violent. And so it's a warning to people. Do not go up to people's doors, make threats, advance their doorways, and play with their lives, because it ultimately can end up in a dangerous event.
Yep, midweek. You guys have suggestions for Gemini?
Yeah, so Chief, obviously, when you saw the video, what was your initial reaction? Obviously, this was super traumatizing for this family, and I know this family has been through a lot recently, so a lot of fear there, but what was your reaction when you first saw that video?
When I first saw the video, to be honest with you, I thought that this has to be a prank. And I thought that there may be young people within our community that could be engaged in this behavior, especially approaching the holiday season. But then I thought that, how dare they try to break into their property and cause that level of alarm. And not only just thinking about maybe the emotions that that family was going through at that specific point in time, but when you also have children that are in your household, right, you're thinking about going into protection mode.
Now, guys, I still can't believe that that lady went outside. She literally was like, hello, happy Halloween. She thought it was a Halloween prank. And I just wonder what those people would have done to the ladies in the house had they got in. Would they have tied them up? Would they have gotten to that threat where they were saying, I'll kill you, I'll break your neck? Would that have happened? What would have happened had they gotten in? All right, Jay, did you see that kid that beheaded his stepdad on Staten Island? Which one? I ask you, which one? All right, let's keep going so we can get through this.
And I would, pause and to also say, if you are out there and you are the one that engaged in this type of behavior, we're actively searching for you. We're going to ultimately find you. We have people in our community that are so concerned about this event. They're wanting to put forth funding for tips to identify persons to come forward.
Is that actually Show Speed Steak? What's up? Whatever MX is, what is up? Show Speed Steaks in the house. All right, hell no. If my kids were little, you get no warning. I'm a busy mom. Yeah, I just want to know what you guys would do. What would you do if this happened? Do you stand your ground? Do you have weapons to even do that?
And to admit, right, what they were doing at this specific time. And if it was someone that was young and you're a parent of them, I would acknowledge you to or make a recommendation to you to come forward and report your child. It is better to come forward so we can address the situation and work through it than ultimately we get to the point to where we have to continue to put out public information and also make an arrest where there is not a voluntary circumstance. So, I empathize with this family. I can only imagine what they were going through and the emotions that they were going through. And that's why it's so important. It's so important to call 911 so we can quickly respond to these events. I know our officers are still out there today canvassing neighborhoods again, asking people to.
What's up, Lynn? We love Vermont. This happened in Vermont, my friend. Or no, I'm sorry, no, this is Virginia, not Vermont. I get my states, my V. This happened in Virginia. And yeah, what are you gonna do if you're in your house and that happens? Did you see the video, my friend? What's up, Sherlock Homegirl? How you doing?
Call 911 if they have any type of information. We also have 311 here within our city where people can report information on emergency and check your Ring doorbell cameras. One thing
he's all cracked out. Whoa, what happened to this guy? Bad video.
Ryan?
Yeah, Chief, you hit on tips a little bit. I'm just wondering if I just want to make it clear. People can submit anonymous tips. Just want to make sure where they can submit those.
He's all cracked out right now. It's their video. I'm trying to. If we can't fix it, it's okay. I got another segment.
Well, as just wondering if you have any recommendations for residents on a whole about security at their front door.
Yeah. So the detective that is over this case is Detective Gibson. People can contact him at 571-388-7615.
They didn't show
again,
that.
571-388-7615. And again, we are approaching the holiday season. Number one, I think is very important as people are out trick-or-treating or giving out candy.
Now, remember, these guys have not been caught. We don't even know if they're three men, if there was a big giant woman in there, if one of them was. We don't know who they are. They haven't been named. So, again, be careful and also watch out for copycats, guys. Darlene says, I have an aluminum bat by the front door and extra round. Kiki, what's up? Nick 9 doors. All right.
Right, that you are always aware of your surroundings. I think it's also important to ask who is at your door and ensure that if it is an emergency or if it is something that is suspicious, I always encourage people to call 911. 911 ensures that you're going to get an immediate police response and that our officers are going to be dispatched. Certainly someone being
immediate police response. I'm sure we watched 11 minutes, right? Didn't we watch 12 minutes? And I don't know if they were on the phone the whole time, but we never saw them show up ever, guys. All right. So that's not good. No, you're not timed out, Angel. There's certain words in my chat that you can't say. So it might have been a blocked word. Rachel says Netflix is a documentary, My Perfect Neighbor, and it's very sad. It has a lot to do with Stand Your Ground. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Nikki Knock 9 Doors is saying, oh, Ding Dong Ditch. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, guys, this is far from Ding Dong Ditch, by the way. If we had an opportunity to do Ding Dong Ditch when we were younger, we would do that, but never would we fear that we're going to get somebody standing their ground, because this was far beyond that.
The door, trying to come to these residents in a way is already called, and we should be
I don't know why this
immediately. And so, again, as we approach this holiday.
All right, so we're going to stop this guy. We heard enough. I just wanted you guys to be up to date with what the hell was going on. This is what we're talking about today, guys. Your worst nightmare, I assure you. All right. Now it's okay, Angel. I have words that are blocked out. It just won't show up. Desert Moon, I'm a Suba snob too. All right, let's I got this for you. Homeowners taunted by would-be intruders with the Halloween costumes. And what would these people do? There's lots of conversations on this, and rightfully so, especially with this. Let's take a look.
Masked people show up at the home of a woman.
So if you just rolled in, we're talking about what would you do? Stand your ground, call 911 and wait, walk outside. 3 masked men terrorize this family, caught on Ring camera, guys, and they haven't been caught. All right, so come on in. Here we go.
And talk to her through her Ring door camera. I do want to lift up the audio here and listen really quickly.
Quickly, guys, not the whole thing.
Who is it? Open up the door before we make any inside.
Thank you, Tracy.
Open up the door.
There were no
I
cops.
can't even begin to imagine. And again, this is video that was provided by the woman who lives in that home. I do want to bring in.
Here's the thing, guys. We're asking a lot of questions about this, and we don't have a lot of answers. These 3 masked men or women, whatever have you, went to the door and tried to break in. They wanted to rob these people. That's what they said. But they also said, if you let me in, I'm going to kill you. All right. So let's recap this.
Chief Tarek McGuire, the chief of police there in Alexandria, to talk more about all of this. And Chief, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks for having me this morning.
Of course. And that video,
we can hear him much better now,
is absolutely terrifying. So first, I do want to get your take as you hear this story and then you watch the video for the first time. What is going through your mind as the chief of police?
Well, thanks for having me on this morning. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is we've worked extremely hard here in Alexandria to work on making sure that our communities are safe. And that includes our crime numbers right now, which are down approximately 29%. And so when you have crimes that bring a victim to scarcity, such as in this video, it's quite alarming. When I look at this video as just a human, a community member here, the first thing that I think is this a prank? Because you see the Halloween mask, you see someone walking up to a door trying to scare a family. And then from a human side, I really think about the family being alarmed. And ultimately, how can we solve this crime? How can we solve this case to bring closure to not only the family, but the greater community?
And what can you tell me here about what actually happened? Because I know there's a lot circulating, as I mentioned, on social media. The homeowner has spoken to some of the media members there. Can you explain to me exactly what is going on here?
Yeah, so this incident happened, I think, on Tuesday night between 9:50 to 10 o'clock at night. And
again, he's just breaking down the details a little more. If you guys already were here at the very beginning and you saw the footage and you heard me explain and break it down, you're probably good. But we're here for a few more minutes, breaking it down with Fox News, talking about what would you do. And we're going to leave off at the end of this with, hey, Halloween's coming up. These guys are not caught. Please watch out. And if you're in the Virginia area, please make sure that you see something like this, you got it on your camera, you got it on your Ring, something like this happens, call 911. see something, say something, but also do something, because these people threatened these homeowners that they would be back. All right, Sherlock Homegirl, member for 3 months. Yay. All my love to Jay Crew chat. Thank you, hashtag fangirl.
As you see in the video, you have several people that walk up in Halloween masks, and these are Halloween masks and costumes that are normally associated with horror movies that have been in movie theaters on television. But what's interesting about what we see here is not just the prank that is alleged to have happened, but it quickly turns into a criminal offense based off of the comments that they made, threatening toward the family, and ultimately destroying property and trying to make entry into the residence before they ran off. And so this is a very serious matter, not just for this family, but our community, especially as we approach this Halloween holiday season. We want people that are on our streets to feel safe, to walk around and be safe at night. So, you know, this is very alarming, not only for this family, but
I mean, look at right there, guys. When the door opened, and again, if you guys just came in, Sean Strickland gun, huh? If you guys just came in right now and you didn't see that, or you came in halfway, didn't see that, when he opened the door, guys, when he opened that screen door, that glass screen door, and tried to unlock it, he crossed the line there immediately. And then again, they crossed the line when they were threatening to do this, threatening to let them in. They're going to take their lives, and then going to the back, breaking their door, the gate, breaking in, hitting the windows. That crossed the line of being a prank. All right. I have a tactical knife, you say. I'm not sure what the comment is up there.
there has been great community concern.
And that's my next question for you is,
Or
what is your
moves.
message there to the community members who maybe see this and are extremely concerned about it?
Well, Josh, as I just said, we're approaching the holiday season. Not only that, but Halloween comes right before that particular time frame. And we're going to have people walking around trick-or-treating in our community, wearing costumes, wearing masks. And that is a part of this particular.
Well, listen, if you watch this video in the beginning, just straight up the ring, straight up just ring camera, you guys, the lady went outside. I'm sorry, she went outside. So when more you say they crossed the line stepping onto the property, that I agree with. However, they could have just went there and been like, hey, come out, and then ran away and whatever. But they crossed the line by opening the door. They crossed the line by trying to unlock it. They crossed the line by, yes, going on the property. But again, if someone just walks on your property and is not threatening you, not trying to break in, you want to be careful that you don't try to stand your ground for something that doesn't need to be, right? This is not that case. But the lady opened the door, went outside long before law enforcement showed up.
Season, but most importantly, I want to share with people, if you see something suspicious, don't try to address it yourself. Call 911 so we can immediately respond to the scene and allow the police to, you know, work through the details to help and identify.
All right, a lot of his stuff is the same. I got another terribly difficult legal call in this viral attempted break-in. So I'm going to pull this Fox one down. He kind of just says the same stuff. I wanted to make sure that we were up to date with each other on your worst nightmare. All right, we're going to talk about the legalities of this and just making sure, guys, make sure that your level matches up to the level of what's happening, right? You stand your ground, but you want to make sure you're not being emotional. You don't just open the door and like, oh my God, that's scary. Bam, bam, bam. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking here about Lola says, I stand my ground, call 911. They would not get through my doors. I would take care of it myself. You have to be ready. Your security plans, never, ever run outside. And she did, guys. She did go outside. She did. So let's look at the legalities real quick of this difficult legal call is what they're saying about this particular crime. And this is a crime. And this can happen to any one of us at any time, even when it's not Halloween. That's scary alone, man. What the heck? He just trying to walk in right now, guys.
Open up the door.
As Halloween approaches, a Virginia family shows how they experienced a real living nightmare after a costume-clad trio gathered outside of their Alexandria, Virginia home earlier this week, demanding that the people inside let them in. At first, they rang the doorbell, knocked on the door, and shouted, either you come out or we come in. But then after that, it really escalated. The family said,
at the end of this video, she literally walked out and said, "Happy Halloween." Law enforcement was not there.
The trio attempted to force the front door open, break down a wooden fence in the backyard, slash through the deck screens, and then pound on the windows.
See?
At one point, the family says the trio shouted death threats and promised to return.
Look,
Tonight, the family remains concerned, and of course, they want answers, including what legal rights they had in this situation. To discuss this and hopefully get some answers to that.
All right, so we're on the last leg of this. Good thing she had a camera. Yeah, this was the ring. God, ring was on. But listen, what can you do if this happens to you? What can you do if this happens in another state? We're talking about this now. What are you going to do? All right. Desert Moon says never pull out your own unless you intend to use it. You definitely should be in fear of your life if you do. I agree. You shouldn't pull it out unless you intend to use it or you're prepared. I'm not going to say necessarily intend, but be prepared. If you pull it out, you're probably going to have to use it. Who was the guy that showed up? What, that was not law enforcement that showed up. That was a neighbor or somebody that it was not law enforcement. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I pressed play the wrong one.
Let's bring in attorney Mark Reichel. Thank you so much for joining us for the second night in a row. Let's start with that question there, sir. What could this family have done in this situation? And if they genuinely were feeling threatened on their own property, does stand your ground rights apply here?
Each state varies, so every single state varies. Virginia, where that took place, many others have, stand your ground.
And this is why I tell you guys, every state varies, but you really should know that. Susan Lawrence got 25 for shooting through the door. She was a lone old lady, right? And that's why we're saying check your laws. Check your surroundings and be aware and make sure you do the right things. All right. Now, that's again, shooting through the door can mean a different situation. She doesn't know who's on the other side or what's coming from her. And it depends state to state. So be prepared.
Law, which means your home is your castle. So you can't really use deadly force. You have to use the amount of reasonable force necessary to repel whatever the danger is to you. However, you can use deadly force when it gets to the point where they're either breaking the door down, breaking the window open, or really close to getting the door open. You can't really just do it if they're standing on the porch, even if they're threatening.
What, did you just hear that right now? And what you told me about her shooting through a door, that's beyond. It's scary what someone knocking your door and trying to get in, but if they didn't break anything, you can't see them, you don't know if they have a weapon, that's probably not a good idea to just start shooting through your door, because then you can even go as far as hitting drive-by cars, hitting somebody walking their dog, hitting your neighbors. You don't want to do that. So you got to be level-headed and prepared, because that's what we're talking about right now. That's why you need to know your laws, and you need to know if your state is standing your ground and how far is too far.
You obviously the first thing to do is call the police. So it has to be where they break it into the house somehow. So jiggling the door is probably not enough. Honestly, it's a terribly difficult legal call, but it's when they push it enough that you think they're going to get it open, you can fire away.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder whether or not this was something that was nefarious, if it was just a prank that was really poorly thought out. Either way, the Alexandria police chief hinting at the idea that this trio may soon face charges, including burglary.
Now, listen, they need to be used as an example, in my opinion. In this case, those people could have went out there and started shooting, and it would have been justified. All right. Now, why did they choose this house? My only guess is that it's a widowed woman living there, and maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, and maybe they just, you never know what people do. But that was a widow that they did that to. She just lost her husband within a couple of weeks to a month. All right. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. You're very welcome. Again, you know how we do over here. We want to learn something when we do an episode, when we want to bring something to the table and also learn about something. Open your minds up and realize what the gravity of the situation is and what you can take away from it.
As well as criminal threats. So do you think, I mean, I just heard your first answer, perhaps not, they didn't cross the line. Do you think charges might apply here?
Oh yeah. I do think it's absolutely all sorts of things. If you threaten someone to harm them, that's a criminal threat. Secondly, they were on the porch trying to break into this attempted break-in. If they really did slash a screen, it's possible that it could be the burglary, nighttime burglary. So
Right.
I think they're absolutely going to, they'll be convicted if they're caught, I think, on these facts.
What would the defense be, you think? If they caught these three guys, they had to appear in a court of law. What do you think would be the right way for a defense attorney to handle it?
They have to prove that these persons had the intent to really do these things. I think.
And again, guys, see, you hear what I mean. This is from a lawyer that's referring to the state that this happened in, Virginia. Okay, so he's like, you make sure you're level headed. Yeah, the clown does look like a female or a big tall guy with moobs. All right. So just you want to make sure the intent's there. You can see the intent by how they tried to go in. They opened it and then they were doing threatening motions. However, I don't see any weapons on them, which may have saved them a good 5 to 10 years. If you like this shirt, email me guiltyofcrime@gmail.com and we can get you one. We can hook you up. All right. We got lots of good merch for a good price. All right. Is this the fact that people literally go up to cars and see if they're unlocked? Makes me check multiple times at the doors. Yeah. Make sure you, well, first of all, let's look for a guy in a costume with moobs, because I think it's a big, tall guy with moobs.
Their lawyer's going to have to get a hold of them and make sure they don't speak about anything, because it is so strange. Even Alex, I know as you noted, there were some civilians or pedestrians walking through the street with dogs, so forth, in cars. So, and yet these people were speaking so loudly, you know, they know that everyone could hear them. It was strange how they would walk back and stand there like they wanted to be photographed and would say these words over and over. We're your worst nightmare. It is certainly strange. They could absolutely be charged with a crime. And if they would have gone a little bit further, I think these people would have had the right to use their gun.
Well, you were right to point out the fact that there were other passerbys and civilians out. It doesn't look like this was in the dead of night. It looked like maybe.
Now listen, that's scary AF right there, guys. The moment I caught wind of this case and I saw it come up in my feed, I was like, I need to get this to my guilty of crime people. Halloween's coming up, and tell me that's not one of the scariest things that you've ever seen. And I've been carjacked. I've been thrown out of a car with masks, literal masks in midday, right? With a weapon pulled at us. It probably was something similar to a 9, or it could have been 40. This is scary. Let me tell you, the carjacking is scary, but this right here, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what I would have done. All right. What about Oscar? Yes, exactly. Oscar Pistorius. I always say his name wrong. Oscar in South Africa shot his girlfriend through the bathroom door, and he got time also. However, I think that something else was going on there too.
You know, at a time where people are still walking their dogs, it makes me wonder about just the fact that they're wearing costumes, and maybe perhaps it being so close to Halloween that this is something that people might just shrug off. Oh, it's just kids, you know, messing around, when really it could be criminals out there meaning to do harm.
Well, look at when you can prove intent to a court, Nikki, when you watch this full video, and these people are standing out there not only making these gestures, but they're also saying, I'll kill you. They're also saying, if you don't let me in, I'm going to break in. And then they break the fence, break their wood back porch, and pound on the windows. They, you know how we know their intent? Because they're telling us their intent by what they're doing. Yeah, if you have a stun gun, though, and 3 people, you might want to be careful with that, because you're just going to piss somebody off and they're going to come at you even harder. So be careful with that, guys. Stun guns, if you get somebody on the right DRUG, yeah, you might just piss them off. Be careful.
Absolutely. Obviously, that's the great disguise to blend in, is to wear these horrible costumes. But they achieved their purpose. If they were trying to scare this person, they scared the rest of the nation. So.
All right, what do you think would be the advice that we could give to viewers out there? I mean, this video is circulating on the internet. We've been showing it, obviously, because it is just so disturbing. There might be people out there that are thinking about their own security at their own homes and wondering, my God, I hope that never happens to me. What advice should we be giving them if they find themselves in a situation like this?
No, that's really shocking. My wife, Elizabeth, I didn't show it to her because I didn't want to ruin
Look at that,
Halloween
guys.
for her. But so I agree with you. I think that the advice is immediately call the police. Immediately call the police. Don't let anybody in. And I'm telling you, they break that door a little bit more, the seal of that door, or break a window. You got to protect yourself.
I mean, right there, guys. And he's saying call 911 first and then get what you need to get to protect yourself. They tried to break in. They literally opened that door and then continued to walk right into the front. Had they been able to, they would have. And it makes me wonder what they would have done. But Halloween's coming up, and you might not even realize that you've got this duo or trio people that are going to do that. There's a lot of copycats nowadays. And guys, I got to warn you, last time this happened like this, that clown thing spread everywhere and went viral. And there was clowns all over the Bay Area committing crimes. And when I say clowns, literally and figuratively, all right? And this could have been a prank that was gone real wrong, because everybody that we've weighed in on this story has said they could have been shot and the people inside would have been right on point. Nothing would have happened. They would have done it and nothing would have happened to them. It was well within their rights to maybe these were pranksters. It says pranksters made death threats. They would have been well within their rights to have taken these pranksters' lives.
Attorney Mark Reichel, thank you very much for your time. Let's hope it doesn't happen anymore across America.
Yeah, they're not wearing a bra.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
All right, guys. So yeah, this is literally my worst nightmare. I don't know about y'all. Some of you guys are not into horror, but you're into true crime. This is a tad bit of horror and true crime. All right. So Evan sending my dogs and protecting from behind. Action. I wish they'd come to my door. That's all I gotta say. Then that would go viral. That high will disappear when they're arrested. Guess what, guys? We've been here for an hour and 35 minutes and watching this. I hope watching and sharing and discussing with you guys. I really hope now it just gives you guys a little more sense of, okay, this can happen. This is really, really scary. But I know how I would handle myself if this happened to me or my neighbors or my widowed mom. Because if you get caught off guard and you have high emotions, something bad can happen to not only you, but people that were possibly just pulling a prank. All right. So we don't want that to happen. That being said, guys, I hope that I gave you enough information today, and we had a bit of a discussion with different, platforms of Fox and News Nation and all the local news stations, and the chief of police telling you what you can and cannot do, what stand your ground means. I know some people didn't know before they started this episode. Is my state a stand your ground? And what does that mean? They got out lucky. Not everyone would tolerate that in stand your ground states, but they picked a widow. All right, guys, they picked a widow, and something bad could have happened. Desert Moon says, I'm tiny, 5'2". Got to think about this stuff and what I do. Hey, Desert Moon, I got a secret for you. Can you keep it? I'm shorter than that. All right, but if you know how to handle yourself, then you're good. All right, thinning hair. I used to love in horror movies. I no longer do. True crime cases I watch, follow, but this is almost too much for me. Be safe. The world's gone batshit crazy. I agree, Gemini, but I appreciate you guys for being here today and checking out what I had to say and the case that I presented. So, Indy Isham says, "Thank you, Jay. Needed to see this. Oh my goodness, Darlene's 4'10". You beat me. You got me beat, my friend." Leanne Henderson, great show as per usual. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate you so very much for helping me get to my goal to support the channel. And guys, do me a favor, hit the like button if you do see the option that says hype. Please hype the Guilty of Crime videos, okay? I appreciate you. And don't forget, guys, we've got merchandise for Guilty of Crime for days. Now, many people have been winning Foxy boxes. Somebody just bought a mystery box. And other people's packages are on their way. So if you want to get something, everything is on guiltyofcrime.com. All right. Or you can email me, reach out if you have questions, what have you. Otherwise, good night. I hope that you guys sleep well. That is my worst nightmare, but we can get ahead of it. If you see something, say something, do something, and please protect yourself and your family, especially for those of you that are by yourselves, all right? And we won't call out who or what, but make sure you're prepared. All right. Desert Moon says, stay safe. Boss lady, good night, Jay. Good show tonight. I enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys did. Michelle Hark, it's on my way. Yeah, you guys, if you guys want to rock anything, you can go over to guiltyofcrime.com and check out the merch. There's a coupon code for Crime Crew Fam 10 and receive $10 off of your order. All right. Now, don't worry about that link right there because I don't think you can click on that, but just go to guiltyofcrime.com and find your merch link and you'll be able to go ahead and get $10 off for whatever it is that you want. Good night, Mom. I love you. Can't wait to see you soon. And everybody else, much love, hugs, and please be safe out there tonight. If you're not going out, then I see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch me when you can this week. It's Halloween coming soon, and we got lots of stuff with the little kitties' birthdays and stuff. So, again, catch me if you can this week. You won't know if I'm coming or going. Love you and have a good night. Bye.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?